Hey guys, what's up? Connor from the Dookie Boys here, coming to you guys with an album review. And today we're going to be talking about the new album by Weezer, which is called Everything Will Be Alright in the End. Let's talk about this. So, before I get into the album, I have to give you guys a little history lesson on the band Weezer, which is the band that formed in the year 1992, and their first album came out in the year 1994. And all I can say about Weezer is that they're kind of one of those bands that they've always been up there. They've always been like a band that everyone knows about because everyone knows about Weezer. But they're kind of one of those bands that have had their ups and downs. In the late 90s and the early 2000s, or just in the 90s and the early 2000s, Weezer was on a roll of releasing great albums. I mean, they released such great albums as, well, two of some of my favorite albums of all time, which is the Blue Album and Pinkerton. And unfortunately, Pinkerton, when it first was released, it didn't really get that good of reviews, and everyone said they hated it. So after that, they still made a solid sounding record, but they kind of went back to what they sounded like before, but not as much. Then they released the Green Album, which album's okay, but I still think it's one of their best albums, but it's just kind of one of those, like, after Pinkerton and the Blue Album, they couldn't really blow anybody's mind anymore. And unfortunately, I don't own Maladroid on like CD, but then after that, the Green Album, they actually released their heaviest album, which was Maladroid, which has some of their heaviest riffs on there, some of their heaviest songs, and just also some of their best songs. Dope Nose and Keep Fishin' are probably two of some of my favorite Weezer songs. And then after that, this album happened, Make Believe. Now, a lot of people like to criticize some of the songs off this album for sounding like, it just sounds like Rivers Cuomo is trying to go back and be the lonely guy that he was back in the Pinkerton and Blue Album, or the Pinkerton era, even though by this point I think he was already married. I'm not sure about that, but he was just about to graduate from Harvard University. And honestly, the album Pinkerton, that's why that album is such a great album. It's such a personal album, because it's all Rivers writing everything, and it's about all the things he had to go through when he was going to Harvard and all that stuff, and how his entire life he felt like he was like pretty much a loner, and he thought that no one was gonna love him and all that stuff. And case in point, songs like El Scorcho, The Good Life, Across the Sea, all those songs. Kind of seems like people say he's trying to go back to that, but he's already grown up anyway, so you just get over that. And the most criticized song by Weezer, besides another song which we'll get to, the song Beverly Hills. Now, me personally, I kind of like this song. This is, I know a lot of you Weezer fans are probably going to hate me for liking the song Beverly Hills, but it's one of those songs that I actually enjoy. I do enjoy the song Beverly Hills, and Perfect Situation is another song that I think is great. But above all, Make Believe was kind of a disappointment. Out of all the Weezer albums that came out, they had 4 really good ones, and then they dropped Make Believe, and it's kind of just a disappointment. And then they dropped their weirdest album ever. The Red Album is the weirdest album that Weezer has ever came out with songs like Troublemaker, which I don't even really understand what the song's about, and then the jumbled mess of a song, which is The Greatest Man That Ever Lived, variations on a Shaker hymn. Now, the song's okay, but I don't really think it feels like a Weezer song. Pork and Beans, again, whatever, but above all, this is just the weirdest album they've ever put out. And then it happened. Weezer dropped a terrible mistake of an album. Gratitude is my least favorite Weezer album and one of my least favorite rock albums of all time. Really, there's only 3 songs I actually like off this album, and that's not saying much. If you're wondering if I Want You To, I Want You To, Put Me Back Together, which was written by the lead singer, which was written by the band All American Rejects. That's right. Hold on. This band wrote for this band. I don't know about you, this band for this band, but I feel like that'd be switched. This band for this band. Again, I think the song's pretty good. It just sounds too much like an All American Rejects song. But I do like that song, and a song that I've heard a lot of people actually do not really like off this album. The last track, which is called "I Don't Want to Let You Go," I actually enjoy that song. That song is actually a song I enjoy. But then you have other songs like "I'm Your Daddy," "The Girl Got Hot," "Tripping on the Freeway," and then the worst song Weezer has ever made in the history of them being a band. Can't Stop Partying featuring Lil Wayne. Why in the holy hell did Rivers ever think that was a good idea? The song has no turning point, has no good things to say about it. The song is just an overall terrible mess. The weird thing though is that the acoustic version of the song sounds beautiful. Sounds amazing. But the regular version is terrible. And then after that they released the album Hurley. And a lot of people didn't pick up this album, other than the fact that, the front cover is probably the laziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. They literally just took a picture of Rivers and Jorge, forgot his name was, but the guy who plays Hurley from Lost, took a picture of them, next to each other. They cropped the picture just on his face and made the album Hurley. This album is actually pretty good. In my own opinion, I'd put this next to the Green album as one of my favorite albums by Weezer. But again, there is some songs of this album, like "Where's My Sex," which I learned this recently. "Where's My Sex" is not even a song about sex. It's about Rivers' little daughter, Mia, I think is what her name is. She couldn't say the word socks, so she said sex. So instead of "Where's My Socks," instead of "Where's My Sex," it should be replaced "Where's My Socks." Another song is "Smart Girls." That song is just stupid. But above all, Hurley was a good album, but it got terrible, terrible sales. I think that's because of Ratitude. Ratitude was just like one of those albums where people listen to it like, okay, I'm done with Weezer. Weezer has officially broken me. I'm done with them. And then they heard the new album. Probably didn't even know the new album by Weezer was coming out. At that point in my life, on that point in my life though, I was back in like 7th grade or 8th grade. Weezer was my favorite band ever. I know I say Green Day is my favorite band and the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, but at that point, Weezer was my favorite band. And back then, I even enjoyed the album Ratitude because I was musically ignorant, and then I learned later that the album is terrible. But I picked this album up, and I've actually liked it ever since. The song Memories, good. Ruling Me, good. Trainwrecks, one of the best songs by Weezer. But Unspoken, another good song. I love the fact that on the song Hang On, Michael Cera is playing the mandolin and doing background singing. I think that's awesome. But yeah, and then after that, Weezer was kind of just dead for a while. For the next 4 years after Hurley came out, well, unless you count this, which is just a B-side album, but they were kind of dead for a while, and nobody really even knew if Weezer was going to come out with a new album. Like, is Weezer just done after this? Is Hurley just what they're going to go out on? And then on YouTube, they released their name for the new album and the front cover for it, and the album was going to be called "Everything Will Be Alright in the End." And then they released their first single, which was called "Back to the Shack," and this song kind of made me wonder a little bit. This song kind of sounded like a Beverly Hills type song, and I thought, okay, maybe this album's going to be okay, I don't really know. But then they released the second single off this album, "Cleopatra." After I heard that, I knew the album was probably going to be like, alright, this is going to be good. Because this sounds like a Blue album or a Pinkerton. And as you know, I'm a person who always wants a band to like expand their horizon and go out more. Weezer's the only band I don't want that to happen to, because when they try to expand their horizon, they do it bad. By the way, side note, right now I know I'm talking about this in narrative and all that stuff. What the fuck is that on the front cover? I mean, I know it's like a hillside and all that stuff, and then like the trees and all that. But what the fuck is that? Like, what is that? It looks like something off of Shadow of the Colossus, only a little nicer looking, or it looks like something off of Where the Wild Things Are. I just want to know. Someone put in the comments. Fuck is that? This album came out on October 7th, 2014, and the album dropped. I got it the first day it came out, because, well, I mean, I kind of knew the album was good already, because I listened to the entire album on iTunes Radio, and like, you have no idea how happy I was when I actually went on there and listened to it. Because track after track, I was like, wow, this song sounds good. Wow, this song's really good. This song's awesome. Wow, this song's actually amazing. The song's also good. Well, I know they have a female singer on the song, but it's still pretty good. Like, every song, I was just like, this is good. This is finally good. And I've listened to the album 5 times. I've listened to the album 5 times, and then when I bought this, I've listened to it 3 different times. I can officially say this is my 3rd favorite album by Weezer. First 2 favorite albums by Weezer. My favorite album by Weezer is the Blue Album, and my 2nd favorite is Pinkerton. Nothing against any of these albums. Both of them are perfect 10s in my opinion. Especially Pinkerton, because the album is a goddamn masterpiece. But I just enjoy the Blue Album a little more, because, you know, the song "The World Has Turned and Left Me Here" is one of the best songs of all time. I love that song to death. By the way, got this album on vinyl for my birthday. The CD and vinyl collection video coming soon. But, sorry, I'm listening to something. But yeah, every song off this album, I don't really know if there's a least favorite song off this album. "Go Away" was like an okay song for me, but it was just because I had a female singer on there, but she actually did her job, so, you know. So I guess I should just do a track review now, like track reviews. So let's start off with track number 1, which is called "Ain't Got Nobody." Now this song starts off, and it's like static goes by, and then you hear a little kid say, I had another nightmare," and then you hear the mom in like kind of like a muffled tone say, "Go back to sleep, honey. Go back to sleep, honey. Everything will be all right in the end." Then the song starts, and the song, like, it starts off, it's just like a building up, and then like you hear the people from the band like, "Ain't got nobody," and then it goes in, and the song starts. It sounds like a song off of like Pinkerton. Sounds like something off, maybe something off the Green album. I don't know, but the song, just like, I knew from that point, I was like, maybe this album will be pretty good when I was first listening to it. Then the song ended, we get to track 2, which is called "Back to the Shack." Oh, by the way, "Ain't Got Nobody." I kind of feel like "Ain't Got Nobody's" kind of like one of those songs, you know the songs, like off of Pinkerton and off the Blue Album. It's like one of those songs where Rivers is just talking about, like, I ain't got nobody, ain't got nobody to love, nobody, like, ain't got nobody to really love me and all that stuff, which is kind of weird because he's married, so, like, I like the song, but Rivers, you're married and you have a kid. Then we move on to track 2, which is called Back to the Shack. "Back to the Shack" is pretty self-explanatory when you listen to the lyrics. The lyrics are pretty much about, like, Rivers or Weezer saying, like, it's pretty much the apology song. Like, "Sorry guys, I didn't realize I needed you so much." Like, pretty much saying, like, make believe, the Red Album and Ratitude. After he said that, like, he wants to go back to the shack, pretty much like he wants to go back to where Weezer first started, and they started recording, like, albums and all that stuff, so he wants to go back to that. And the song is pretty much saying, like, I know we've been sounding like crap lately, and, like, almost, like, kind of bad lately, and I'm just gonna say that Make Believe, Red Album, and Ratitude never happened. Those albums never happened. We're going to go back and actually make some really, really good, decent albums. And the song overall isn't really that bad. I mean, I like the music video for it is a little boring. It's kind of just them on the moon. That's it. But yeah, the song, yeah, it has a pretty good guitar solo in it. Drums on this song, you know me as a drummer. These drums on this song are, like, I love Pat, because his drumming is just so simple, but it's meant to be like that. Like, his drumming is so simple but it's so good. I mean, it's not supposed to be simple like Meg White from the White Stripes. I feel like some songs she could do better on the White Stripes, but Patrick Wilson, I just feel like that's the way he plays, and that's the way he needs to play. Then we got on to track 3, which is one of my favorite songs off this album. This is the part in the album when I knew, all right, this album is gonna have some of my favorite Weezer songs in it. And the next song is called "Eulogy for a Rock Band." This song is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much about Eulogy for a Rock Band. It's pretty much Rivers and the rest of Weezer, writing to writing about like, oh, all these other rock bands that already happened, like the main chorus goes, adios, a rock band that we've come to know, like 15 years of running the world and all that stuff. We will sing the melodies that you did so long ago. So pretty much all those rock bands that came and gone, this is the song for you. We're gonna celebrate the fact that you made music and your music was awesome. Like bands like the Beatles, what other bands broke out? The Beatles, maybe Oasis. Pretty much any, like the old Pixies, pretty much any band that like has came and gone. Like they were really really good for a long time and then just ended. Like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, all those bands pretty much. So yeah, eulogy for a rock band. Track 4, Lonely Girl. It's pretty much the protagonist of the song. I'm not gonna say Rivers because I'm just gonna say the guy singing like my lonely girl, like pretty much like, hey, I'm as lonely as you, maybe we should get together. That's pretty much what I'm getting out of the song. I've had it up to here. I think this song can have two meanings. This song, the first meaning behind the song is like pretty much telling somebody like, I've been trying to tell you all this stuff for such a long time, and I'm trying to get it through to you. You keep like you're plugging up your ears, and I've had it. I've had it up to here. Other side of it, I think it's Rivers talking about like, he's putting out all these albums, and all Weezer fans are saying, "Oh, this album is terrible. Oh, I don't like this song. Oh, this song is really bad." Like he's just like, you know what? I've had it up to here. Okay, I know that you guys want me to go back to it, but you know what? I've had it up to here, and I'm just not gonna listen to it anymore. I'm not gonna sell out and just make music for everybody else. I'm gonna make music for myself. So that's what I got out of that song. Track 6. This is another one of those pretty straightforward songs. That's what I love about Weezer. Sometimes their songs are just pretty straightforward. The British are coming. This song's about the American Revolution. I mean, just listen to the chorus. Punk-ass redcoats, trying to run the show, trying to tell me what to do and where to go. Mount your horse, because it's time to tell the world the British are coming. It's pretty much what the song is, and then it does references like one for land and one for sea and two by land. I don't know which way it went. Like that's pretty much saying like when Paul Revere had to go back and tell like the British are coming, the British are coming. They had like these spotlights on there, and if one was up, then they were coming by land, and if two were up, they were going by sea. Correct me that if I'm wrong, because I don't know the history of that. Because I love history, but I can't remember shit from it. But yeah, the song "British Are Coming." I love that song, and it's about the American Revolution. That's pretty much what it's about. Then we get on to track 7, favorite song off the entire album. This should be the next single off this album, Da Vinci. This song is pretty much just about a guy talking to the woman, or the girl that he loves, or the girl that he wants to go out with, or the girl who's already his girlfriend or wife, saying like I'm trying to explain how you are, or like explain how beautiful you are, but I can't really do that. I try to tell all my friends, but they kind of just went like, what the hell are you talking about? He's talking like, you know what? You're such this way that even Da Vinci couldn't paint you. Even Stephen Hawking can't explain you. Rosetta Stone can't translate you. You know, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know how to describe you. It's pretty much. So I guess it could go. It's a love song, or it's like you're so this way, or like you're so this way. I don't really know how to explain you to anyone. The song "Go Away." This song has two singers on it, and I forgot the name of the second singer on this album. But there's Rivers, and then there's comments. Leave it. What's her name? Bethany something. I don't really know, but yeah, it's going back. It's going back and forth between them, like talking about like Rivers is saying to the girl, "I love you. Please take me back," and then the girl is saying like, "No, go away. I don't want you anymore. Like you're such a stupid prick," or something like that. Like he did something wrong to her, and then but he still wants to have her, but she doesn't want to take it anymore and all that stuff. So that's what I got out of the song "Go Away." Cleopatra. I feel like this song has a lot of different meanings. The first meaning is just about the Lady Pharaoh Cleopatra. Like you can't control me no more, Cleopatra. Like I guess it's saying like it's like a person who's in control from Cleopatra back in the old times when pharaohs were around, but like she wasn't in control anymore. Either that, or it's like talking about like someone who's always been in charge for you. Like the person is Cleopatra, and they're trying to control you, but you like, you know what? You can't control me anymore. You're getting older now. Your beauty is fading. It's only the weak people that actually fall for what you do. So I'm not gonna take this anymore. You can't control me anymore. And then the song "Foolish Father." Um, I think this song is about like "Forgive Me, Foolish Father." It may be like since in the song "Back to the Shack," Rivers did say that like I made up I finally settled down with my girl and I made up with my dad. If you go, let's go back for a second to an album called the self-titled album by Weezer, also known as the Blue Album, and to a song called "Saying Ain't So." "Saying Ain't So" is written by Rivers about his stepdad's um, alcohol abuse and how it was ruining his family and how it was making him an alcoholic too, and all that stuff, and like just saying like, "Dear Daddy, I write you, in spite of years of silence, you cleaned up, found Jesus," all that stuff, and also the first song, "Somebody's Heine is crowning my icebox," like he's pretty much like saying a Heineken. Somebody's Heine, like somebody's Heineken, is like crowning my icebox. So it's pretty much like written. It's a really personal song by Rivers about his stepfather's alcohol abuse. Fast forward to this album, "Everything Will Be Alright in the End," to the song "Foolish Father." This may be about him saying like, "Forgive me, foolish father," for making the song "Saying Ain't So" or something like that, or like how he's making amends with someone and how him and his sister, because he says you are his daughter, like to his if he has a sister, I don't know, but yeah. So the song "Foolish Father." Then the last three songs are actually all part of one trilogy. It's called the Futurescope trilogy. The song "Wasteland" is an instrumental piece, and it's actually pretty impressive for Weezer. I'd have to say. I don't really think I've ever heard an instrumental track by Weezer before, and if I have, I can't remember. But the song "Wasteland" is actually pretty um, impressive. Then the song "Anonymous" only has a few words. It has "I don't even know your name" in it and all that. Like saying you don't even know the person's name, but I don't know. Then the song "Return to Ithaca." This is the only song off the album I can't really remember all that well, so yeah, don't hate me for this, but song "Return to Ithaca," I don't really even know what the song's about, but yeah. Also, going back, the song "Eulogy for a Rock Band," when it first starts off, it's kind of just like a build up, whatever, and like a little off key a little bit, and then when it gets into the chorus, then everything comes together. "Lonely Girl," "Lonely Girl" is the shortest track of the entire album. If I were to compare it to anything, I'd have to say it kind of sounds like a slower down version of "Why Bother" off of Pinkerton, or in another way, it could be on this album any day. "Lonely Girl" could be on the Green album any day, so that's why I like the song "Lonely Girl." What was the next song? "I've Had It Up to Here." Kind of has like a thing where like there's like breaks in the middle of it and like all that, and then you hear just like the falsetto voice that Rivers does. Didn't know how well he could do that, by the way. Rivers can do a falsetto voice pretty good. "The British Are Coming." Let me try to remember this. Oh yeah, in the beginning it has like a guy talking. I forgot what he says, but he's like talking about like it's pretty much like since the song's about the American Revolution, it's like we have to keep the tradition alive or whatever. Like saying like I guess like a speech like from the Revolutionary War or something. Then the song "Da Vinci." In the beginning of it has like this like the whole band is like whistling and whatever. And most of this album has acoustic in it, which is something I love from Weezer. "Go Away." Well, just the Rivers and the girl singing. Then "Cleopatra" starts off with like an acoustic thing, an acoustic lick or acoustic strumming on a guitar on an acoustic guitar, and then you hear like the ever so famous harmonica and a classic Weezer song, and then it goes into like the heavy guitar thing on there or whatever, and then it's kind of just chill for a while, and then it goes into this breakdown where they're like, I thought this is kind of weird. They're saying the times table for five, like they just go like they get into it and it's like kind of the heaviest part of the song. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And then like you're older, you're colder, and all that stuff. So like saying like you're older, you're colder, you're getting closer to when you're gonna die. That's what I got out of that. "Foolish Father," again, I guess just a simple a Weezer song where it just builds up and then gets in the chorus and everything comes together. That's what Weezer's kind of known for. Then the Future Scope trilogy, the song "The Wasteland" is kind of just, you know, like the instrumental thing, and then it kind of gets crazy for a second, and then the song "Anonymous" kind of just like chills out, and then "Return to Ithaca" is kind of just like this slowed down song that just slows down all the way to the end. So yeah, Everything Will Be Alright by Weezer. This album finally did it. Finally made Weezer seem good again. And you know what? Consequences Sound, I'd agree on what their review for it was, A-, but I go by numerical, so I'll get to that after I name my top 13 tracks, technically 11. So you know what? I'm gonna do my top 6 favorite songs off this album. Top 6 favorite songs off this album are, now when I say top 6 favorite songs off this album, I don't mean like number 6 is the least and number 1 is the most. I kind of just say like pretty much my 6 favorite songs off this album. Like the 6 songs I enjoyed the most off this album. And that would have to be Ain't Got Nobody, Eulogy for a Rock Band, I've Had It Up to Here, The British Are Coming, Da Vinci, and Cleopatra. Favorite song off the entire album, top 3 favorite songs off this album are probably The British Are Coming, Cleopatra. Favorite song off the album is Da Vinci. I love that song to death. So, yeah, now I'm going to be talking about the casing and everything around the album. So, if we look at the front cover of this album, we get to see whatever the fuck that is. I have no idea. But, and then like a hillish mountaintop, whatever. There's trees right there, like a mountainside. There's like fog coming in, or like clouds right there from where the monster thingy is standing. And then if you open this up, it reveals the whole entire thing. There's not that much lyrics off this album because they're kind of just hidden in like the notes that there is. This is like one of those albums that does like this thing, like the centerfold type thing, and it goes in like this, and it has like this whole thing right here. Then there's a note from like, and the thanks from all the people from Weezer. And then it shows the entire hilly landscape all the way, like it's like bright over here, it keeps getting darker, 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 darker. And then on the other side it has a, hold on. Yeah, it has this right here, which is kind of the lyrics off the album, but you can only read about half of them, and then and then it has like a few pictures on there. But yeah, so also right here it says Everything Will Be Alright in the End. Project number 243, book number 47, Future Scope, whatever that is. But yeah, I think they're still on Epitaph Records on this. I'm not sure about that. Hold on. Now they're on Republic Records, so they did change from independent to, I don't know if that's a major label or not, but yeah. Also, I love the fact the actual CD, looking at this, it looks like a reel tape. I think that's pretty cool. And then right here we have pretty much it looks like the recording setup for the album. So that's cool. I don't rate what that inside the album looks like. I just show it because why the hell not? Also, another thing I don't like, a thing I kind of don't like about this is that once you get here, there's a certain way you have to fold it so it doesn't fuck it up. Come on. What the hell am I doing? I've got it before. This is all wrong. I'm doing it right now. There we go. Yeah, so there's that. Unfortunately, when I first bought this album, I had to get another case for it. Because I don't know why, but the case that I got right there didn't have it. Didn't have it on there. So yeah, Everything Will Be Alright in the End by Weezer. Honest opinion about this album is great. This album is probably going to be, right now, this album and this album, Lazaretto by Jack White, are currently tied for my favorite album from this year. But, you know what? The new album by the Foo Fighters still needs to come out, and I already pre-ordered the vinyl and the t-shirt, so I'll be reviewing that. 8 tracks on the album, recorded in 8 different cities. I got the Forever cover, by the way, if you want to know. But yeah, rating on this album, if I were to give it an honest rating, I'd have to give this album a 9 out of 10. Either that or a 9.5. This is, in my opinion, up there with some of Weezer's best albums, and this is the third highest rated album that I have by Weezer. The first album, Blue Album, I'd give a 10. Pinkerton, I'd give a 10 too, but I have to be fair, then I would give it an 8.5. This album, I'd have to give a 9, 9.5, probably. Even though there's really no songs that I don't like. My voice keeps cracking. There's really no songs that I don't like on this album. I think the song "Go Away" is okay. I've had it up to here. Is actually a good song. Never mind. "Lonely Girl." No, I like that song too. "Return to Ithaca" is probably the only song off this album that I really kind of almost forgot about. But yeah, 9.5 out of 10. Weezer, everything will be alright in the end. The album's awesome. Go pick it up. 3, 2, 1. I'm done. Subscribe. Next review is probably going to be on, well, I have to learn more about the album, but me and Landon want to review the album OK Computer by Radiohead. Also, I'm going to be making a CD and vinyl update video for the Connor and Landon show, so look out for that. And you already know the rules for that, which is pretty much, if you watch the video, make recommendations for any albums that I should buy and any albums that I should review. So that's it. Subscribe. Goodbye.